New affordable housing has come to Pineville. The Inner-City Revitalization Corporation held a celebration for the completion of 5 new homes on Dillon Street.
News Channel 5's Davion Telsey explains.
Property value and equity are changing right before our eyes here in Central Louisiana.
We look at an area that seems depressed and that nobody seems to live in it, but these families want to come back home to their communities. They just don't have a housing opportunity. Families in this community start calling, and they saw what we were doing in Alexandria, say, can you come to Pineville and do something like that? So we did. We went to work.
According to Mayor Joe Bishop, getting rid of blighted houses and putting affordable housing in Pineville increased the property value.
All right, the equity, okay? This is bringing new homeowners into downtown Pineville to raise a family. The schools are within walking distance. The churches are in walking distance. The hospitals are probably about a mile away. So this is a great start for a family trying to get started for an entry-level home.
According to Bishop, families must go through the Inner-City Revitalization Corporation program to apply for these homes.
Well, the program helps people that maybe got off on the wrong foot with their credit and stuff, and this straightens them back out, okay? And like I said, this is a state, federal, and local banks working together to get these people back on their feet where they can own their own houses instead of renting.
I spoke with a few residents in the area that said they're super excited about this change. In Pineville, for News Channel 5, I'm Davion Telsey.